Have you ever felt like you gave everything, your time, your patience, your love, only to be met with silence? It's a heartbreak many parents experience, yet few dare to speak about openly. This quiet ache can settle deep within, leaving you wondering where you went wrong. Despite giving your all for decades, your children are grown now. They have their own homes, their own families, their own struggles. And somewhere along the way, you became a background character in their story. This shift can be disorienting, feeling like you've moved from the lead role to an extra in a play you helped write. You text them, and they reply with one word. You call, and it goes to voicemail. You offer help, and they say, "It's fine, I've got it." And it stings deeply. Each dismissive response, each unanswered call, feels like a small cut, eroding the bridge you tried so hard to build. You spent decades putting them first. You stayed up through fevers, clapped at every school play, helped them move across cities, and listened when no one else would. And now, you feel invisible, like a ghost in their world, seen only when convenient, heard only when needed. This profound sense of being unseen can be truly agonizing. You start to wonder, what if I stopped trying? What if you stopped calling, stopped reminding, stopped chasing? This thought feels scary, doesn't it? Because silence can feel like giving up, like admitting defeat in the most important relationship of your life. But here's the truth. Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom, it's self-respect. It's about recognizing that your emotional well-being matters too, and that constantly pouring into a relationship that doesn't reciprocate can deplete you entirely. When your love and effort go unnoticed, your silence becomes the loudest message of all. It's not a punishment, but a boundary, a gentle yet firm statement that your presence is valuable and deserving of recognition, not just convenience. At first, they might not even notice. Mom must be busy, they'll think. Dad's probably resting. They're so accustomed to your constant availability, they might not even register your absence immediately. This initial indifference can be a hard pill to swallow, but then a week passes, then two, and the quiet begins to echo. The space you always filled with your calls, your texts, your check-ins, now feels empty. The absence starts to create a void they weren't expecting, a subtle shift in their daily rhythm. They look at their phone. No text from you, no email, no little message saying, "Just thinking of you." And suddenly the silence becomes impossible to ignore. It's no longer about you being busy, it's about your deliberate, significant quiet. This is the seed of realization. When that quiet settles in, your child will put on a mask. They'll tell themselves they're fine. They'll say, "Mom's just doing her thing," or "Dad's being dramatic again." This is a defense mechanism, a way to avoid confronting uncomfortable truths about their own behavior. But that's not truth. That's pride. Because to admit they miss you would mean admitting they took you for granted. It's a difficult admission for anyone, especially for grown children who strive for independence and self-sufficiency. And this is the hardest part for you. You'll feel that tug in your heart, that urge to break the silence, to just check in. Your love is so profound, it's hard to resist the impulse to connect, to bridge the gap you created. But remember, you've done that before, again and again. And each time, you fell right back into the same one-sided rhythm. This time, you're choosing a different path, a path of self-preservation in teaching through absence. Silence isn't abandonment, it's balance. You're not shutting them out. You're simply letting them feel the natural consequence of distance. It's an opportunity for them to understand the true value of your consistent presence, now that it's not guaranteed. Then quietly, something changes. They start to remember you. Not just the recent months, but all the years before. Your recipes, your late-night talks, your laughter in the kitchen. These memories, once taken for granted, now resurface with a new poignancy. Regret doesn't shout, it whispers. It sneaks in when they're alone, when the house is quiet and the phone stays still. It's in those moments of solitude that the true weight of your absence begins to settle, a quiet gnawing feeling. They realize what's missing: your presence, your steadiness, your unconditional love. The emotional anchor you always provided, even when they didn't consciously acknowledge it, is now palpably absent. This realization can be profound, and they start to ache in ways they can't explain. This isn't about guilt. This isn't revenge. This is growth for both of you. It's the uncomfortable but necessary process of reevaluating priorities and understanding relational dynamics. When they can no longer rely on your calls, your reminders, your constant care, something inside them begins to wobble. Their emotional ground shifts. The familiar security blanket of your availability has been gently, yet firmly removed. You were their safety net, even when they didn't see it, and now that net is gone. They start feeling uncertain, lonely, even among friends, and they begin to understand the quiet power of your love, a love that was always there, now conspicuously absent. Every child, even the grown ones, eventually stands at a crossroads. One path leads to blame and avoidance, doubling down on pride and further distancing themselves. This is often the easier, but ultimately more isolating choice. The other path, however, leads to humility and healing. It requires courage to confront their own actions and acknowledge the emotional void created by their neglect. This path is harder, but it promises genuine connection. Some will stay distant, hiding behind pride, and that too is their choice. You cannot force someone to see what they are unwilling to acknowledge. Your role is not to chase, but to stand firm in your self-respect. Others will soften. They'll reach out, not out of guilt, but because they finally understand. This understanding comes from a place of genuine reflection, a realization that your love is a precious, irreplaceable gift. You'll notice it in small ways. Their tone gentler, their words more thoughtful, their effort consistent. That's real change. Quiet, steady, earned. It's not about grand gestures, but about sustained, authentic effort to rebuild. This re-engagement is a sign that the silence worked, not as a weapon, but as a mirror. It reflected back to them the truth of their actions and the profound impact of your love. It's a testament to the power of healthy boundaries. And when that happens, or even if it never does, you must remember your journey is no longer about chasing love. It's about protecting your peace. This profound shift in perspective is crucial for your emotional well-being in your later years. You've given enough, you've loved enough, and now it's time to love yourself the same way. Extend the same compassion, understanding, and unwavering support to yourself that you've so generously offered to others your entire life. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are wise, seasoned, and strong. Your experiences have shaped you into a magnificent individual, deserving of respect and joy, regardless of external validation. Your silence is not a punishment. It's a prayer for balance, for healing, for self-respect. It's an affirmation of your worth, a declaration that you deserve relationships that are reciprocal and fulfilling. You are choosing peace, and that's something to be proud of. It takes immense courage to prioritize your own peace, especially when it means stepping back from deeply ingrained patterns of giving. This is a powerful act of self-love. So today, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and whisper these words. I choose peace. I choose self-respect. I choose to love myself as deeply as I've loved others. Let these words resonate within your very being, anchoring you in your newfound strength. If those words touched you, go to the comments and write, I am choosing peace today. You never know who might read it and realize they're not alone. Your shared experience can be a beacon of hope for someone else walking a similar path. And if this message spoke to your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Happy Grandpa 69, where we talk about real things with honesty, kindness, and hope. Because healing doesn't always come with noise. Sometimes it begins with silence.